Oh, here he is.
Yeah.
Let's go live right now.
Let's go. And let's check if we are in fact live. Should be. We think we will be. Let's have a look. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the chat and you wouldn't mind being so kind as to tell us whether we're live. I'm just seeing if I can find it.
We are live. We
usually boom.
Yeah, what's up, everyone?
There it is.
Yes, you can tell that Rolly Ray is back in the seat as technical director. We had Ryan stand in for you last week, mate, for a little while.
Actually, I thought I held it down all right.
I'm not going to lie, Ryan. I thought you were outstanding, son. For real.
I think I should resign.
Really? That's, that's massive. That's massive.
Well, now you have to do it.
You could just come on drunk. Oh, fuck off, Paul. Look at that.
Look, he's got the lighting on point. He's got everything on point today.
He's had his friggin' eyebrows done.
Yeah, right. I only have eyebrows.
Mate, the night you come on looking like that is the night I'm sat here sweating like a chip.
I'm in my basement. This is my new basement studio.
It's nice.
Holy shit, Paul.
Hey, Ray. Ray, hold on.
Professional. He's got a basement studio, lads. What's going on?
No, it ain't really a studio. Hold on a second.
You have to bring a cat in or something.
Ray, I got a cat, Ray.
Oh, my, no.
Ray, I got a cat, bro.
It's becoming a thing.
I can't find her. My wife made me get a cat. I'm coming to the dark side.
Oh, my God.
Can't find her, though. She's running around here somewhere.
You know, that old joke, I wanted a dog, my wife wanted a cat, so we compromised and got a cat.
Yeah. That's the one.
That's it. That's exactly what happened. Ray, she wanted one of them crazy Savannah cats. I was like, no, I'm going to go get a free one.
Is that the one that's has no hair?
No, the Savannah cats are they're like.
Don't take the one that can kill you.
Yeah. They're like 60 pounds or something crazy, and they can jump like 14 feet, and they eat like raw chicken. I was like, no. We're getting.
That sounds like not being funny. That's a cool cat.
Yeah, that sounds like a claw to your throat in the middle of the night sort of job.
I don't trust them.
The cat just bites you to test, can I eat this? Not yet.
Yeah, that'd be. Would you be all right with a bigger cat then, Ray, as a professional in the field?
No, that's exactly why I wouldn't get a regular barn cat. I don't want to be out doing Ray. Ray got a panther.
Yeah, Ray shows up with a friggin' white tiger, like Seafried and Ray.
Yeah.
Didn't one of those? When did one of those get eaten? Like one of Seafried? No, joking aside, he full on didn't he though? For real? Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Ray, don't let us find out. Don't let us find out. You'll be gone for a week. The cats will be eating your body. Don't let it happen. You got too many of them. You're outnumbered.
No, seriously, Ray, that can happen because you could be in that. You could get mushroomed off your tits one night, right? Fall asleep. It could be it could be a really basic thing. You might just come home one day and think, oh, Rue's got a bit of mud on it. We'll bath Rue, and you go and Rue's like, not tonight, motherfucker, not tonight, and he fucking turn on you. The next thing you know, Rolly Royce was killed.
Yeah.
I call it like a professional injury, So yesterday my cats got into the fight and somehow I put my hand in the middle so you can see like 2 bite marks, more bite marks. But I really cannot do anything with my right arm right now. So
because you were mauled by a 4-pounder.
Yeah. And there was blood everywhere. It's just gushing out, and I'm like,
hey, a cat will fuck up your life. We had a cat. I can't remember. I was going to say what type of cat it was. What's the cat with the long hair with a really shaggy? Quite an expensive one. I don't know much about it.
That ginger looking one.
It was like a stunning coloured cat, but it hated. It used to get all its fur in knots, Well, that thing did not like getting bathed. It was fine, fair enough, cat. You try to bath the thing. Weighed about, no joke, this thing probably weighed, I don't know, 3 pounds or something. You try and bath that, it was on. Mike Tyson tried to bath that cat. Mike Tyson would be like, this is going to be on. I tell you, that thing would wind itself up. You could hear it revving up like a frigging little motorbike. Be like, "Rrrr," and you're like, oh, shit. And you daren't let it go because you knew when you let it go, it would mess up your world. Let me tell you now. Paul, is that a kitten you've got there? Is it actually like brand spanking new? Or have you gone out and got
Yeah. I went to the hardware shop and they were like giving them out. I said, all right, I'll take one. No Savannah cats.
Mate, we should probably introduce the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Fix.
Show 70, ladies and gents. Show 70.
70.
Now,
Wow.
we've already got a super chat just flying here, so I'm going to just knock this off. Lloyd Christmas. Thanks for your super chat, brother. Really appreciate it. My kind of podcast. Arm wrestling and pussy. Yes. That's how Ray rolls, mate. That's an average day in the life of Rolly. That's what his life's all about. It's just pussy and pulling. Sometimes a bit of both. Now, for anybody that's watching from the UK, you will know that here today it's been immorally hot. Probably over 30 degrees. And as a fat man myself, let me tell you now, I am in serious trouble. So if you see me getting a bit of a dab on tonight, I'm sweating like Toddzilla at a weigh-in. Don't let yourself be unnerved by it, guys. It's just how I roll. But it's been a busy week in arm wrestling, lads. It's been a busy week. You've got Ryan Bowen, who's put on
About 6 kilos.
You've got... When's the match, mate, with Mato
Rangi. That's until 14th of August. So we got 4 weeks. 4 weeks to go.
Carry on where you're going. You'll be like 290 pounds by then.
Well, he's 263 pounds currently. Sorry, 363 pounds.
Where's your confidence level, mate?
9 out of 10 that I'm gonna win. 9 out of 10.
Because I saw on the post you were putting your list together the other day with the little,
as in the North American dream kind of 3-week tour thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's the. If I ever get let out of this cage, I'd love to go to the USA, and it's been so long that I'd like to go there for maybe a month and then space out a whole bunch of super matches just to try to get as much value out of the trip as possible. And the likes of Paul and Dan and Chance and friggin' anyone else under the sun, maybe Justin Bishop again or something. It'd be anyone. It'd be good. But first, Matai Warangi, the dude is a monster. Like I said, he's weighing 363 pounds. He reckons he's going to be at 380 by the time the match happens. So
and he's not tall,
a big
is he?
boy.
He's not tall. What is it? How tall is he? Like 5'10"?
He'd probably be the same as me, 6'1" and a bit.
A half.
Half makes the difference.
Anybody in the chat doesn't know, 6'1.5".
Yeah.
What he is. It's actually screwed up the shirt, mate, because I did the shirt, the Ginger Lake shirt, which you've got the hair tonight. It is Ginger Lake tonight.
Yeah, it's Ginger Lake
Full on. There it is. And I've got it on there, 6'1", the fingery fun.
Oh,
and you've thrown in the half.
Yeah.
It doesn't work as well with 6'1.5" of fingery fun. It's not as good.
Yeah. But Matzo Warangi is someone asked me the other day to compare him to Chance Shaw, and I said I think Chance is a better arm wrestler in a subtle and technical way, but I think Matzo Warangi is a stronger arm wrestler. They have a similar shape offense, both back pressure, top rollers, big hitters. So they're similar in the way that I need to approach those guys. And but Matzo Warangi, genuinely a serious athlete. They said he benches 270 kilos, so he's a big dude, strong dude.
270 kilos is a phenomenal bench.
Confidence level is really good at the moment. I think I've got the tools to disengage his wrist, and from there I'm in control.
When was the last time you pulled him, man?
We had a training pool only like 2 months ago or a month and a half ago. When I was over there for the honeymoon, we got the chance to group up, but we actually did face in a formal match in 2018, and we went 3-3. I think that he really underestimated me in that super match. He came over to Brisbane and just kind of rolled out of bed expecting to trash me, and it went 3-3. So I think I know he's wanted revenge since then. So I think he's taking this one very seriously, and he's motivated and focused and keeping his cards close to his chest. So there's going to be a lot more fireworks in this one.
Are they opening up any more blocks on you guys' match?
If they sell him out, I know my block's been selling out pretty quick. I think Matzo Rangi is 70% sold on the current block, which is his second block. So
you have to sell your block. They won't open another one until both blocks sell.
Yeah.
How much is the block worth, Ryan?
I think each block's worth about $5,000. So yeah, we got a fair bit of money on there already.
Interesting. Yeah.
I got
Sorry, your fault. Are you betting?
Oh, I'm all yeah. I talked to Ryan. I got like 500 on him. 500 on Ryan.
500 on Ryan. He's gone in big.
Yeah.
I'm still rolling my money over from the Chain Shaw thing, so I'm playing with that.
Right.
My wife keeps
break off for a minute, guys, because Ryan, a very important super chat's coming here from Stitch, right? And I think that this is important, and I think it's topical. I'll just check in with the technical director to make sure I'm not off point.
Ray, can you just check out that from Stitch there, see if you think that's important? I think that's very important.
Hey, put back that orange.
Okay, we're going to do it. So Stitch has come in with a super chat. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate that. And he says, can we just take a minute to discuss the orange oak? Now, does anybody else in the chat think that our very own White Oak has done he's been on a bit of a beauty thing this week? He's come in, look at him. His freaking eyebrows are symmetrical.
Guys, I went to the barbershop. I go to a barbershop. This is all lighting. I'm in the basement. I'm not in my office. Look, here, I'll change the lights. It'll all get weird.
Jesus Christ, he's gone professional, big time. This show is specking up. We got Ray with the mushrooms have become there's only me and Ryan shite. Everybody else is killing it. Tell you what, it's ridiculous. We need to up our game here, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, every time I use expensive equipment, I do a poor job at it, and it always sounds better if I just go with just my bloody computer as it is. So,
mate, you've got about 35,000 quid's worth of tackle for this as well, haven't you? You're kitted out for the job. You are. He's kitted out. He's absolutely set and ready to go. So we've got a lot of stuff to get through, so I'm going to start to rattle us on a little bit here. We've had another super chat through from Fred and 997. Now he's put the Hardanger Open is getting closer. I'm coming to win the 70 kilo class and also meet the GOAT John Brzenk. But we're going to get into that big time because the John Brzenk topic generally has been dominating the world of arm wrestling for the last couple of days. And I know there was some other complete peni that were up till Christ knows what last night watching that go down on Bob Brown's channel. If you haven't checked out Bob Brown's channel, guys, get over there, have a look at Bobby from old school. Bob Brown, very experienced lad, and he was putting out a live feed yesterday from the first time we've seen Brzenk out and about. We've seen him doing a little bit of training. Obviously, spoke to you, Ryan, in your midweek show. Ryan's got a midweek show with John, and you discussed that, and he said who he was going to be arm wrestling there.
What do you think?
Notice how they all jump at the opportunity to speak. Okay, listen, I had somebody give me some today on another show and say, Neil, you talk too much on that show. Shut up. Right?
That's what I'm trying to be good too. I'm trying to let Ray start. Otherwise, Ray will sit there for 40 minutes. The mushrooms.
I'm just, European nice. He's American nice.
Don't compete for the nice title because that's Paul.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Ray got it. Ray.
Paul, come on. You're American, son. Go flying in. It's only your friends you're offending.
What's that?
It's only your friends you're offending, people that you know and have got to speak to on a weekly basis. So
Who's that?
you go piling in there.
All right. So what do we got? What's the question? I was reading the comments.
So we're talking. Freden's question. Thanks for your super chat, mate. He's talked about the fact that he's going to meet the GOAT John Brzenk, and we've just seen the first little bit of an outing from John this weekend. I'm taking it you tuned into that, mate.
Absolutely. So
what do you think?
Do we want to start with the John stuff, or do we want to talk about Craig and Dallas first?
Let's go John initially.
Okay, so John ran the class, right? And he had a couple people in there, like Brandon Green's really good, or Justin Green's really good. People don't really know about him. He's kind of old school forward. John has practiced with Justin quite a bit. I've seen videos of that where Justin is working John. and pinning him at times in practice. In the actual match, you know what I mean? Same with Cody Merritt. Cody was in the class. I believe there was an overall.
Can you guys hear it?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Paul, your lighting is like a 10. Right?
But your mic is like 2.
My mic's terrible. Can you hear me?
It's better now.
Yeah.
Better now?
Yeah. It was a 2. It's got like a 6 then.
It's a 6 now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think John kind of ran the class. He ran his class. He went through Cody Merritt, pulled supers and everything. And I don't know if he met Dallas in the overall or not, but no one seemed to really slow him down at all. He was able. He top rolled Cody and then he hooked Cody. And Cody's right is better than people think. He's a large man, and his right is. And I practiced with him, like especially when he turns into a deep hook. So John looked very, very comfortable while he was in a deep hook with Cody. No, he looked really good. Now I heard some rumors about after pulls with Jordan Sill and different things like that, that people are using to sway their perspective on the match with Chance. I don't know what I think on that because I know how John is in practice. John does not care about losing in practice, and I think he gives some away. He's very nice, and he'll let you kind of do you, and he's not afraid to give 1 or 2 away. But I know he did also speak with Dave Morocco, and Dave said that in typical John form, he was very modest about where he's at and saying, like, well, I don't know if I would put too much money on me right now. But that's kind of John's MO, and Ryan knows that. So it's really hard to sort through anything other than what we see John do in a tournament.
Yeah.
Any takeaways, Ryan?
I agree with you there, Paul. I wouldn't be so worried about after pulling stuff. I heard that those rumors as well, that there was that he didn't look so dominant in the after pulling. But what I saw in the pulling that mattered was that John's hand and wrist is still very much there at the very pointy end of, I think, North American arm wrestling and potentially world arm wrestling. Really, like he looked comfortable. He crushed people outside of straps when he decided to. The fact that he could turn Cody Merritt in at will outside of straps looked impressive. His wrist integrity, his pronation stability, high in the strap. That first time he faced Cody looked really safe. It didn't look like Cody had much chance of breaking through it at all. And I think we didn't see him holding his shoulder. There was nothing about him that looked like he was in pain. His side pressure came through nicely in coordination with his hand. It looked as a first outing in a long time in an official sense. I think it was a really good result. I think for me personally, it gives me more confidence that he's going to do well against Chance and even David Dadakan later on this year. So I think it was awesome, and I think it was a nice way to start. I think he's only going to go up from here.
Yeah, I was worried because I don't want to see John losing at all. It really doesn't matter, but I really don't want to see him losing. And I watched the event and watched it live. And then I watched some compilation videos of. He looked so good. He was so confident. That hand is still like the small finger, like Ryan knows. I think everyone knows what John does. It's so terrible, to the opponent because it takes everything away in a second, and you don't have anything. So I was very happy to see John pulling it. 56, 57 right now.
57.
Yeah, he just had a birthday. Yeah. And amazing. You can just like goes right there with the top guys now and pulls. This is why he's the GOAT. I really hope he wins Chance. I really hope he wins with Chance. I think it's a great super match to have. In classic John fashion, John doesn't give a flying, he's pulling this week and he's gonna pull next week, and he's like, yeah, I'll be ready, and we know he's gonna be ready. So I'm super excited. I'm really.
So he is pulling this coming week also.
Yeah. Oh no, second 2 weeks later.
His next one is Chance. He's next.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Chance. All right.
Yeah.
Is that the 31st? When is that? 31st.
31st.
Yeah. Okay. I thought maybe he was pulling again. That would be crazy, but awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He looked solid. He looked like, like the same as he's always. I think he has little, when in your head, you have some shoulder problems, you kind of gonna wait outside your shoulder before you're gonna pull in, and you can see that a little bit. And if he has no pain, more confidence he gains, stronger he will get. And it's just incredible. At 57 years old, we're seeing John pulling top guys in North America. Imagine that.
It was interesting for me. I didn't really get a great deal from it, just because I feel like John was going through the stages. I feel like he wasn't extending himself nor trying to. It's quite interesting because the one thing that you'd say that would be a concern, or would have been a concern for me, would have been the fact that a lot of John's matches, he was very much focusing on containing his opponent rather than hitting on them. Containing Chance would be a mistake, in my opinion, or attempting to contain Chance would be a mistake. I think Chance is going to be reliant on that. I think Chance's best opportunity to do anything there, nearly double chance that then a moment ago. Best opportunity to do anything is if he does try and contain him. Whilst John might well be able to do that because his hand and wrist integrity is great, I'd be more concerned about his shoulder integrity than anything else if he get hit really hard off a very big, heavy Chance.
Yeah.
It was hard to take a great deal from it because he didn't need to move hard. And I'd like to know within myself whether he's got that ability to really hit hard. But John's always been that guy that's not a dick to people in tournaments also. He's not the guy that's going to go and slam hits into people when he really doesn't need to do that. So he does his little bit of a test and then he just beats you in a very non-dramatic fashion. And that's one of the things he's done throughout his career. Now, obviously, Cody's not a right-hander by trade, but as Paul says, he's a very big man. He's a very experienced arm wrestler, and he's no bum, So I would have liked personally just to see John with Jordan.
They have to hold, but I mean, what do you?
What were the sort of jungle drums on that one, mate?
They say Jordan controlled it.
Jordan could hold on to him, and okay.
And then Dallas in the after pool was able to have some success too.
Okay.
But I take it with a grain of salt.
That's the same as me having success with John on the training table, though. Like, and I'm under no illusions of what would happen in a ready go with John. Like, I've pulled with John and we've strapped up, and Dallas is a strap puller, and Jordan, once his hand is secure, is a tank. So I can only imagine John just walks straight in very casually and slowly into those guys' grooves. And like I said, John will say to me, he'll send me all the praise in the world saying, I have trouble with you, Ryan, in the strap, but ready to go, I'd get absolutely crushed by John. So I'm not worried at all hearing Dallas and Jordan say that.
No, I'm not. As I say, the only thing for me I would have liked to see someone in there and let's be honest here, Craig and Dallas particularly pretty screwed. He lost his hand and wrist. You can't go into there with any damage there and pull with John. It's just not. I was very impressed with Justin Green. I thought he pulled really well. Just as a great puller, very underrated arm wrestler anyway. But I think he had a good day, and it was nice to see him enjoying himself up there and confident hitting people. Great job, Justin. I thought you pulled really well, mate. Dallas and Craig we'll get onto, but that was interesting because it took some sting out of both men quite clearly, because you then saw guys giving them trouble that I don't think may have done. Not pulled, and they pulled pretty hard. They went in there and exceeded the elasticity of their arms, so that's always going to happen. But I'm very interested to see Chance and John. Really interested, because it is a real barometer check, isn't it? It's a real. Let's see what Chance is capable of. Let's see what Chance can do in certain areas where he won't have been tested before. And I hope John is up for it, and I hope he's able to rev up a little bit.
I really feel like John's going to do it comfortably, I mean that no disrespect to Chance, but the reason I say that is because of the one vulnerability I believe Chance has is his wrist, and I think John is the best wrist potentially in that exact position that will compromise Chance. I think if Chance, if John was trying to turn Chance into a hook, I think I'm not sure what happens then, because not many people I haven't seen many people turn Chance into a hook, and I know when I tried even considering that, it felt impossible. But Chance's wrist is definitely the one area that is susceptible. And John's the way John's wrist looked very secure against Cody up high. I think if he did a strategy very similar to that, with some added aggression as well, as you say, Neil, I think that Chance's wrist would be really in trouble. I really do. I don't think Chance can fix that wrist enough to close the gap on how strong John's wrist is. At the end of the day, John's not an arm power guy. He's not a side pressure guy. He's a hand and wrist guy, and that's, for me, that is the best formula for beating Chance, is to be a hand and wrist guy.
See, for me, John's an everything guy. I mean, I was just going to say, one of the things from what I'd be interested to see is where John's shoulder stability is and how, if he can really get it. Let's say Chance does blast his hand and wrist. Would he be prepared to hang in there and go for the match?
I asked John that on our last live. I said, if you have to, you're going to pull like you had to against Taras Ivakin. And he said, to be honest, he thinks that he will be. He said, if round one it goes like that and I have to win ugly, he said, I'll do it. And then if I can show myself that I can win ugly, then I'm really confident that I can win the rest of it from there, because my hand and wrist will take over eventually. So I think John is willing to pull hard and he's expecting, potentially his wrist to stay flat and the side pressure surge from Chance to be significant. But he said he'd even pull like he had to against Taras if he needs to. So
interesting. Just going to knock over a super chat real quick. Stitch is on fire tonight. Thanks for your super chat, mate. Much appreciated. And he's put a petition to ban Stephen Pena from super chats for a week. Dude, we can't. Stephen Pena's one of the boys. Steve, I haven't seen him in the chat tonight, but hopefully Steve's good. And love Steve Pena. Great dude. Absolutely great dude. Stal Giraffin, thanks for your super chat, mate. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. No message, just supporting the channel. Thank you, mate. Now, I'm going to break a little bit of news. Guys.
I'm here.
It's okay. He's just getting a cat. Got the lucky cat. So I'm going to break a little bit of news, right? We are real close to being able to launch or to publicize the super heavyweight battleground at Armwrestling Reality Check. And the 4 guys that are going to be involved in that in the following order will be Ryan Espy of Canada, who will face in the first round Chance Shaw of the USA. And on the opposite side of the battleground, Derek Smith of the States, who will face Alex Kadecha.
Oh, that's good.
So I thought, hey Neil, I thought Chance wasn't going to pull. He wasn't going to pull. That was a no-go, right?
Yep.
I love it. I love that, Neil. Awesome.
But it's a battleground, Paul, so they're not pulling fresh.
So that's the caveat.
Little nuance, mate. Little nuance, you know.
I love that, because to me that's got my personal favorite mixture in there of old guard, new guard, the established guys versus the guys that are banging on the door. So that's awesome. Freaking love it.
Couldn't mate? You for the title reality check of Arm Wars, my God, that one lives up to it, doesn't it? Reality check on every level. On every level.
I'm super intrigued to see Derek and Alex. That to me is one of those ones that I just have no idea where the balance point's at, but man, I can't wait to find it out. That's so cool.
What's everybody's predictions there for round one?
Let me tell you something before we go any further, and he won't mind me saying it. I do love the confidence and the balls of young Mr. Shaw, because we're on the call the other day, and he says to me, "Well, the split on the prize fund for the battleground I would really like to weight it onto the first round match because of the fact that that's the only one that really matters in some ways, because we could be bust up after the second match, you know. Now, he wanted Ryan Espy. Let me tell you now, all the hunger in the world will not outweigh that of Ryan Espy. Because if one man wants this bad, it is that man. Let me tell you now, Ryan Espy has been kicking my frigging door down for this match, saying, get it on, set it up, I'm in, let's go. He wants the match bad. So I think he sees this as an opportunity to sort of underline his credentials a little, you know. He sees it as an opportunity to just let everybody know he's there again. And it's a hell of a wave to ride just at this point in time, isn't it, Chance? Because he's got that momentum behind him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And on that, who have you got, Ryan?
Who have I got?
Come on, Ryan.
I have to go Espy in that one. I think he's got enough experience. I think he's gonna. I think he's enough experience. I think he's got sufficient strength to control the hand and wrist just enough that Chance will not have complete access to his secure base of power, and Chance will chip, but eventually it'll be his own wrist that compromises, and I think Ryan will have more access to side pressure because of it. But it's not an obvious shape to me in how that one goes. Yeah, I mean, they're both Chance is always going to go outside, and he's always going to push to go outside. He's never going to bring it in. I think Ryan is more willing to, over the course of the match, come forward and take control and put more emphasis on his wrist flexion compared to what Chance is, who's just going to be all out, no holding on stuff. I mean, I saw Chance in a Facebook forum last night when someone was talking about which of all the arm wrestling strengths is the most important, and Chance wrote up pressure. He doesn't care about anything but up pressure, so he's not holding on to anyone. So I think Ryan Espy will eventually be able to hold on to Chance. So I got Espy, but not in a simple match. But I'll go Espy.
What about on the other side then, Ryan?
Well, the other side is, like I said, it's one of those ones where I have genuinely no idea what the balance looks like. My gut feel says to me Alex Kadecha is surely the favorite. They're both giant humans. Alex Kadecha, one of the most athletic giant humans I've ever seen in the flesh. I think that when I watched Alex pull over the last couple of years, at first he looked like he was a strong guy who was still learning to move efficiently. But then I saw him over the year and the next year really step up in that respect and starting to move a lot more cleanly. And his transitions were solid from top roll to press, and his defense was starting to look really neat. So I think that he deserves to be the favorite. Derek is someone that has been arm wrestling forever, but is arriving in a strength sense now. So that's the big question is, has he arrived enough to compete with Alex? I don't know, but like I said, this is one of those ones that I have to be super excited about. It's really cool for me in terms of seeing the data update, but I'm going to go with Alex on this one.
So you got Espy over Chance. You got Alex over Derek. Oh, Chance Shaw just come in the chat with the super chat. Good evening, Chance. How you doing, mate? Oh, I won't be over there for you, mate, but how are you doing? You just put, wow, Ryan's betting against me. Yeah, sit down, take a couple of breaths. I can see he's probably really shocked with that one.
His ears started ringing. He said, "Man, I better tune into the fix. I hear Ryan hating on me."
Yeah, some of the bananas on Chance.
And there it was.
Chance will never wear that banana pink shirt and hat again.
Dude, if he doesn't, tell it to me. What a shirt that was. What a shirt that was. That was awesome, wasn't it? He should sell it.
You gotta get a big Arm Wars logo right on the front.
Yeah,
half on one side of the button and the other.
I heard that he's onto it on the merch side of things. I heard he's actually got a line coming.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Bloody right. Yeah, Tommy Bahama sponsor. Get it sorted.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's move on a little bit to Mr. Paul Linn. What I talk. Come on, mate. What happens in this match? Give me the prediction.
I got let's when's the last time that Ryan Espy pulled Matt Mask? It's been a while, right? What were the results?
Do you know what? I can't remember.
I know that I know Ryan has been asking for a match with Matt. Like he's been talking about it. I want to say that Ryan beat him. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
So I'm kind of hinging off of that and Ryan's confidence level against low hand top rollers. I actually think if I take the versions of these two human beings right now, so Chance Shaw doesn't get better or worse, and Ryan Espy doesn't get better or worse between now and Arm Wars, I'm probably gonna stake Chance. And I'm also leaning towards the idea of staking him because I do think he's going to get better between now and then, and I do think he's going to get bigger. He's committed to like getting really big. So I feel like Chance wins that and Kurdecha wins the other one because I don't think Chance would have agreed to it if he thought Derek Smith was going to win, because I think he's sticking to his guns in that he doesn't want to pull Derek. And if he does, at least it's with, who knows what happens the second round. So I know Derek Smith has gotten exponentially better. I'm saying Kurdecha because I think he probably has as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if Derek was able to pull that out. But that to me is going to be the real measuring stick for Derek Smith and where he's at, because we don't have a whole lot of real recent data on him.
I mean, firstly,
For everybody in the chat, the force is strong with this one. The Orc there.
talking about strategy.
And you know why?
Because the White Orc eats Western Survivor
I do.
beef jerky on a
It's
daily
in my
basis.
office. I don't have it here.
This is the greatest beef jerky of all time.
I ate it all.
www.westernsurvivor.ca, mother fluffers. Get yours now, and you too could look like that.
Adam Vandal's in the chat too. What's up, Adam?
Really? Adam
Yeah,
Vandal?
thanks for the beef jerky.
Dude.
We need a reload.
So we got Ryan Espy. We got Chance Shaw. We got Smith. We got Kurdecha. We got Rolly Mother Fluffin Royce in the House of Shrooms. How are you seeing it, son? Probably not seeing that clearly in the House of Shrooms.
I think Chance Shaw wins, and I think Kurdecha wins.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chance, if it's right hand, I think he's on a rise and he's on terror, and he can only get better. He doesn't get injured. I really don't know where Ryan's right arm is, to be honest. So, have to go there. Kurdecha and Derek, there's no chance Derek will hook him. If guys like Rustam and Krasi really couldn't do it, I don't see that much chances on him.
Right.
I mean, Derek's obviously a very, very, very big man, so the reach thing could be important.
Derek has gotten bigger and leaner. And I'm only saying this off of what I see him do in practice and what I hear other people say when they practice with him and kind of where he's at. I do think he will make it a match. I don't think that that's going to be a reality check. I think it's going to solidify him. I still favor Kurdecha, but I think that Derek Smith, Cody West, and Chance Shaw are the three biggest problems in North America right now that nobody has any real recent data on. I think that those three guys are super weird right now, and we're going to get to see here shortly. We just need to get Corey on something.
Yeah, I would love to have Corey in the wars. I would have loved to have him over.
Oh, that guy.
Corey's obviously extremely strong.
That guy's his hand from always holding on to Michael Todd. Just imagine all that pronation every day. His hand is something different. Very, very impressive.
But I think one of the things I wanted to put out there for Derek's perspective. This is, I mean, Derek's frigging stock goes through the roof if he beats Kadechi, doesn't it? Suddenly, I mean, does anybody in the world have, or would anybody in the world have had Derek on that level coming into that match? Or did it, you know, I think everybody's gonna see, even the biggest fans of Derek have probably got him as an underdog here.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for Derek. It's a huge opportunity to have a shot at someone with as much credibility as Alex is really significant, and no doubt that it'll be an exciting thing for Derek. So I think it's a very powerful position for Derek to be in, to have that freedom in his mind, to know that the pressure's not on him at all, that it's all gain for him. Even a war that he loses is a gain for him.
I believe it really is, Ryan.
Right.
So he can't. It's a really privileged place to be in. That place. It allows you to swing for the fences really hard, and yeah, I wish the best all.
Me too.
It's a huge opportunity.
I mean,
I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him big time.
You got Yuri Makarov, okay, with a relatively definitive statement. I'll read it back.
Derek has 0 chance with Alex.
That's awesome.
Thanks,
We'll
Yuri.
see.
That's not what we said.
Yeah, I think.
But like when you take a look at Derek, though, like, I mean, for those of you guys who are in the chat or listening, if you don't know Derek, like everybody said, he's 6'9". He's a giant. Like, and he's not like, he is a very well distributed 6'9". He looks like a left tackle in the NFL. Like, he looks like he could do that. And he's a guy who has committed himself to arm wrestling, just as very similar to what Ryan did. I feel like he's another guy that if he sticks to what he's doing, he's going to be able to quit his full-time job and do 100% arm wrestling. He heads up the Reddit blog. He does all this stuff. He has a YouTube channel. He hosts practices every week and runs one of the largest teams in the United States. Derek Smith lives, eats, sleeps arm wrestling. And it's only a matter of time with somebody with those physical tools and gifts till they really crack in to that level. And I think he's committed to that. And I think that's why he's a real problem. And just imagine all the other super heavyweights out there. He's 6'9". Like, that's enormous. I'm staying in the middleweights because of weirdos like that.
Yeah,
you can't overlook that, can you? Because that was always what Alex had on his side when he came in. He was the less experienced guy who just was immensely physical. This time around, Derek is arguably the bigger guy, and albeit only just, he's the bigger guy. So things like reach matter, things just hand size, just thickness of wrists, all that sort of stuff. It's going to feel different for Alex compared to the guys that he's used to facing. You get comfortable being the big guy. So when you all of a sudden face a guy that's on your level, both of it, you often feel like a fish out of water. Technically, you're like, hang on, I'm not used to taking on someone that has these dimensions. So I think that it's not a walk in the park for Alex, but yeah, can't wait.
I'm going to say that Stitch may be my favorite super chatter for a long time. All right, get this. This is nice. Stitch.
Thanks, mate.
This is good stuff. Neil, my mum needs to know if you ever picked up any Highland women back in your single days, and she classes you as a rich man's Tom Hardy. A rich man's Tom Hardy. Not even a rich woman's. No, I've taken some shit.
Neil loves men.
Neil loves men.
And now, I mean, that's one of the most complicated, like, big up put downs ever. I respect that. Stitch, your mum, if I was single and I was in the Highlands, you send your mum's number. How's that? White Wolf, mate, thanks for your super chat. And he's put, Neil, I fucking hate you, mate. Now we're back on track. You got me hooked on arm wrestling, the cocaine of YouTube. Oh, so he's brought it round here. I actually thought I had one here that really does hate me, because I know a few. 98F here in South Cal. But, mate, we're not built for it over here. Let me tell you now. I wouldn't be part man, part California. Christ on a bike, dude. And he's put, I should be out riding a motorcycle up PCH. Ryan Espy, he's the unknown in the equation. Yeah, and Ryan Espy, just between us and the frigging few people that are, how many people we got in the chat? Like, we got 300 people.
7.
Us, 300.
The 300.
Speaking the other day to Ryan Espy, and he said he has been working his ass off throughout COVID. He said he's going to shock a few people and he's coming in ready. Because I asked the question, look, I'm going to be honest with everybody in the chat and everybody on the show. This is the most difficult arm wars that I've ever pulled together, because those people who are familiar with what I do with arm wars and how I put it together, obviously Ray's been involved, Ryan's been involved before. I haven't had the pleasure of having Paul over at one yet, but we put a great deal of thought into the matchmaking. COVID has completely annihilated the opportunity to do that. We just haven't had the opportunity. So the risk factor's gone through the roof, guys, because we don't know. We genuinely do not know what the script is. And I've been saying to people, what's the situation? What kind of shape you in? Ryan said, I'm mega. I'm ready. And I'm coming there to wake it up. So that's another very good plan. We spoke about big men. Also,
verify his intent in that respect too. It was about probably a month and a half ago I was talking to him, and he expressed a very similar level of optimism in his shape right now. So much so that he was like, this was back when Devin and Mike were getting ready for their match, and Ryan was keen to potentially take on Devin on the left and try to get his foot in the door. And he was saying, literally, I'm really at a good level right now, left and right. I'm at an amazing level. So I expect a big performance from Ryan Espy.
Now then, I'm going to break that down a minute for Ray, who's just gone into forest pose for a moment, and he's perfectly timed it, because just as he does go into that forest pose, Lloyd Christmas flies in with a super chat, which reads as follows: Paul Linn for the sexiest man alive 2021. That lighting. Yes, and he can pull that off with shit sound.
You missed
I unplugged my mic. It should be better. Is it better? I'm sorry, guys.
Perfect now. I swear to God, now you're good. Before, I'm gonna tell you how to dip in form.
I get headphones and they suck. They're too sensitive. I get a mic. It sucks.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say I kind of missed the headphones. The sensitive headphones added a dimension, though, Paul.
Yeah.
Because we had the thing where you shook the can.
Yeah, I don't have it no more.
And it was a thing, So, but sexiest man alive.
I think we missed one from Cooper Maxwell. Asked for a pick between Grippler and Pork Chop. He had a $10 one.
Now, I spoke to Ian the other day, another guy that's very, very. I haven't spoken to Pork Chop, but a lot of noise around that guy. Obviously, extremely powerful. I feel like Carnegie's probably the favorite, in my opinion, on experience. I think Pork Chop's got a lot more room to grow, though. And let's be honest, Pork Chop's obviously working with some really, really solid arm wrestlers over there in the Green Machine himself. So I know, but obviously an extremely strong man, extremely strong lad. So great deal of potential there. And hopefully it's a banger. I feel like stamina, endurance is probably the weakness for Ian. And again, I think that Ian, with his size, and he's quite quick. Ian moves well, He's got a lot of options. I think more options than most people are aware of. And I think he starts as a favourite as a result of that, because he's probably a little trickier than Pork Chop. But I don't know. How have you got it, guys?
I see it the same way. I think that Ian's going to have, I think he moves better. He moves quicker off the go. He's got a few more tricks up his sleeve. And I think that Pork Chop, as much as he physically looks like he's a genuine specimen, I think that he's still got gaps in his game. Much like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I could still turn Lachlan Adair's pronation down. I still see that happening with Pork Chop. He hasn't yet closed that ability to protect his pronation. He keeps on being turned palm up and having to then try to dig out something ugly. I think that if he gets turned palm up and the pronation is set from Grippler, I think the side pressure and the ability to transition and will overwhelm Pork Chop's hand and wrist. And I don't see it going any way but Grippler's yet.
Got a little super chat here from my friend Eels Ryan as well. Joe Mama. Flying in with a super chat. Here he's put.
Love the fix.
He's #1 fan.
I love Paul and Ray.
That's right, Ryan.
Scroll down.
Yeah. Now, if you come down a little bit, Ryan, funny guy.
Uh,
Just put Joe. Love Ryan. Mate, everybody really loves you, Ryan. Don't take it personally, mate, because everybody they do actually love you.
He doesn't.
It actually he doesn't. He really doesn't, does he?
No, he doesn't.
So Sap the B. Thanks for your super chat, mate. Really appreciate it. But who do you think wins? £300 chance at 23, or John Brezink weighing 86 kilos at 23?
John Brezink wins.
Wow.
Yeah, that one I've got John all day. Just complete, very, very, very complete. And I think Chance will probably tell you the same.
Right.
Speed, the confidence and ability to hit on. Let me just say something and see what you guys believe, right? For me, Chance Shaw is an emerging talent. He's nowhere near there yet.
And you got to realize that was when 1987, John was 23. So over the top. The year John won over the top. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to add that context.
Yeah, that makes
Keep going, Neil.
I mean, you look back at who was arm wrestling then and knowing the level of those men. Chance is an emerging talent. And we're going to learn a great deal about Chance very shortly. I think Chance can go as far as he wants to go in arm wrestling, I'm sure. Very intelligent puller. He can really arm wrestle. Where he's at right now, still on the fence for the time being, in my opinion. I'm not sure. He's got a couple of little holes in his game. There's some guys that would create problems for him. If Chance gets the matches that he wants, he'll get to show his full repertoire. There's no doubt about that. I mean, if Chance gets the opportunity to pull, let's say he goes to Arm Wars, pulls Ryan, does well there, faces Alex Kadetcha or Derek, because if Derek's come through Kadetcha, he's a bad mother fluffer as well. If he goes and wins the reality check battleground, doing well. If he then caps that series off and gets a match with Jerry Carteret and wins that, then you can sort of, at that point, you can very much redefine your opinions of what Chance Shaw is all about. Right now, I'm not as convinced by Chance's performances, only because of the fact that I think some of the guys that he's had success against, he was always going to. I think for me, Chance has Jordan Sill's number. I still think Jordan may be able to beat guys that would give Chance trouble.
Right.
Case in point would be someone like Todd Hutchins, who I believe would give Chance more trouble than he gave Jordan. The styles make matches thing.
Right.
We'll see. We will see. But I do believe that we learn a great deal about Chance coming into this next sort of 6-month period. And I think that Chance at that age, my God, go a long way.
Right. It's about his ability to sustain focus. I think that like him ramping up his YouTube, I know he did Twitch and everything. And like, so he had, I think maybe a revenue source from Twitch prior, and he's starting to drift into YouTube and he's focusing on that. He's talking about apparel lines, things like that. All of these things are going to keep him focused.
Yes.
As long as he has those things to keep him focused, where he doesn't drift into like, when you're like an early adult, you start like, I want to buy a house, career, or whatever. Like as long as he stays focused on arm wrestling, at least, with a decent percentage of his life, he can do whatever he wants to do. But it's really, to me, what I think like about Chance's progression is really going to come down to how much he commits physically and emotionally, and how long he can sustain it.
Yeah, he's got a big future, I'm sure of it, if he sticks with the sport. Yep, Goodman, thanks for your super chat, mates. But get those 350 reps done, folks. Have you guys been keeping up with the chat? I have not been keeping up with the chat.
There is some funny stuff in there. There's some funny stuff.
These guys get going. We got Joe Mama come flying back in with a super chat. Ryan, Of my nicknames for you, which is your favourite? Is it Ginger Pedman? Is it Blue Bogan? Or is it the Super Unnatural?
It's definitely Gingerped Man. Easy.
Ginger Pedman is the clear winner in that, isn't it? It really is.
I really do like that one. I like this ginger like haircut thing going on, so that works well.
Have you got any roles for Timberlake in any of his films, like as a stunt double?
I have been approached a couple of times, but it hasn't lined up.
Neil, he got too big. He got too big. He can't be a stunt double anymore. Ginger Lake's like an 87 kilogram guy, isn't he?
Yeah, expect to see me in a dance clip or something soon.
Get him ready for his shot at the Hawk. That's what that is. Get him ready. What? See, you're outweighing Paul now, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
I am, man. Yeah, like I said, I went to bed at 103.8 kilos last night. So I think that's
Wow.
230, isn't it? That's 230. 230.
That sounds
close.
Right.
Mm.
What is it? Yeah, close. A little bit under.
But feeling strong as hell. Really feeling strong. So I don't know. Yeah, I can't wait to get the opportunity to pull like all of us, I guess. But yeah, I love to pull. Love the pull.
Well, hopefully, mate, we're coming to the back end of it now. You should be. I mean, you know, if you can get past the silliness in Australia with the airfares and that kind of stuff, you never know. You never know. We may still yet see you. And
It'll happen.
well, Lloyd Christmas comes flying in with a super chat. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. Oh, tell us what you really think, dude. He's put, am I the only Kim one that thinks this Chance dick riding train needs to chill out?
He's the hot topic right now. He's the one doing the most, you know? And this is usually what happens when somebody's really active and successful. It's the topic to talk about.
Yeah. I think for everyone that's on Chance's dick, Ryan's off it.
No, well, I'm riding along next to it. I'm not on it, but I'm not off it. Like, yeah. It's one of the things.
You said that out loud. You do realize that. Ray was just. Wait a minute.
Ray, can we get away with that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Ryan, carry on.
Hashtag cancel fix.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be off here like Kaya's ass.
Yeah. I really like what we're seeing from Chance at the moment. Social media is a big part of opportunity in the sport. It gets you matches, and especially in this COVID era, it's been critical. And Chance has done a really good job of being consistent in that respect, and he's earned himself the right to have the arm wrestling world talking about him. He's done a great job. So I think we'll keep talking about him until he either peters out as an arm wrestler or in his social media presence. And I don't think he has the intent of doing that soon. So I expect to get a little bit more comfortable continuously hearing about Chance. It's not going to go away.
No, it really isn't. And what I do respect about Chance, he's out there and he is calling people out and he is backing it up. Whether you love him or hate him, the guy's backing it up. So you cannot knock the lad for that. And I think he'll back it up again quite a lot. So Joe Mama, I think you're turning a corner here, Ryan. It's a corner that's being turned, and he's put. This is Carolyn Loomis usually writes this kind of shit when she comes on. Joe Mama has come out with, I bust balls, but really I do respect the hell out of you, right? You have hustle and drive for days. That's quite nice.
It brings a tear to my eye almost. Thank you, John. Yeah. Well, this, like we're talking about Chance, this has been an all-in career for me for like 3.5 years now, where I've literally paid my bills with nothing but arm wrestling. So it's an absolute honor and privilege to be in this position. And the cool thing is more and more people within the arm wrestling world are reaching that point. So whether you're a hater or an in-betweener or a mega fan or whatever, it all helps. The conversations help. So I appreciate the love, the hate, all of it. Thank you.
So we just had a super chat from the mushrooms on Ray's wall, a new super chatter on the channel. And he's put, Neil, please ask Ray to water us. He's been feeding us beer. Now, thanks for the super chat, Mushroom.
Hey, shut up.
Listen, We love Drunk Ray. If it wasn't for the fact
I give you.
yeah, drink the beer and enjoy it. Oh, Matt Tickle My Limits Larrett's back. Dude, how's it going? Here we go. Mr. Neil. Bloody hell, that's more formal than I get from my missus. Paul, Ray, and Ryan. Hello, guys. Love you all. Coming on every week. Also, Chance is a beast. Let the kid shine while he can. Yeah, he certainly is. Even if he loses to John, does that bring down his buzz any? I mean, will it bring his buzz down? Yes. Because it's fickle. I think YouTube's fickle, and I think there's people there. To the uninitiated, some of them will use it as an opportunity to slate Chance a little bit. The reality of the fact is that the opportunity that is in front of him is massive, because very few people have got anything on John ever.
Right.
When John's on a bad day, his bad day is still better than most people's really good day. Everybody would love to tick that box off against John, because John is not a normal human being. You put that man anywhere near an arm wrestling table and he is pure evil. So anything that you get on John is great. Plus, who the wouldn't pull John? Mate, I haven't arm wrestled for 5 years. If John Brezink rang me up for a match, I'm in. You're in. It's John. Of course you're going to do it. Why the hell wouldn't you? It's good.
Well, the flip side to it is if he loses, I mean, the hype just shifts, you know? That video or whatever videos are made and whatever social media buzz is around John winning, he also partakes in that, you know? So I think it's like, you know, no publicity is bad publicity type thing. So that, you know, they're made that the haters or people might say, I told you so, or whatever else. But Chance has other matches coming up real shortly after that. Like if he does Arm Wars, I mean, he could really ride the hype the whole way. Win or lose. And I think he knows that. This is a like you're saying, Neil, it's a no-lose situation for him. At a bare minimum, you lose to the greatest arm wrestler of all time. Okay, cool. I learned something and I got to arm wrestle this guy.
All you're doing is you're picking holes in your own game. How are you going to advance yourself if you don't do that? Let's say John shuts him down because of that acid hand and wrist.
Right.
Been known for. That doesn't mean he still can't beat other guys that may give John trouble. You know, it's this continuous advancement of style, continuous advancement of where you need to improve. And at 23 years old, Jesus, that's when you got to do it. So I agree with everything Matt said there. You can't knock Chance for getting out there and getting the spade work in. I respect him for that. I think it's great. And I like the guy's attitude. I like he's a little bit cocky and a little bit narcissistic and a little bit arrogant. I think you got to be. I think most champions, however deep that's buried, have that. They got that. If you don't have that, I'm not sure you're going to go as far in some ways. You know, you got to. If you've not got that self-belief, I don't know. Chance it's just a little nearer the surface. And he's a pretty articulate guy, but sometimes when he puts things across, I think people get pissed off and think he's up himself a little bit. But let's be honest, the guy's backed up what he said he's going to do.
Right.
Yeah. There's no way the hype train disappears on Chance. Win, lose or draw, whatever happens, I think he'll keep going. Chance he's hit me up a couple of times for advice on the social media side of stuff, and I said just be consistent and patient, man. You've got a great opportunity. You've got the hot iron in the fire at the moment, and so take advantage of it at the moment. But when this passes, this match, just keep doing your thing, keep being consistent. I had a lot of people think that when I lost at Zloty that was going to be the end of my social media. It's funny, and I think people quickly realized that wasn't the case. So Chance won't stop. Chance will just roll on to his next. He'll reflect on it. He'll talk about it. He'll share the lessons he learned. He'll express the way he's going to train forward. He'll talk about his next ambition, and he'll go and do it. So no, he won't lose the bus.
So Goodman has come in with a super chat. He's put, taking away opinions on the use of PEDs. Ryan, what's your end game in the sense of final opponent?
My end game. I'm a lifer when it comes to arm wrestling. I well and truly committed to that. So I'm only still early in terms of how many years that I'll commit to this sport. I'm in my 9th year now. Just started my 9th year in the sport, so I expect to be in another 20 at least. In a sense of pursuing the elite level. So how high can I get? My vision in my head that drives me is I want to end up being considered one of the greatest of all time. I want to be in that conversation of if you had to list the top 30 arm wrestlers ever to exist, I want to be one of those people that gets their little face put up there in that montage. So it's
so like just randoms walked in and went,
Holy shit! I didn't know Justin Timberlake arm wrestled.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's the goal. It's nothing short of get as high as I can. I want to get all the way. I want to win some world titles along the way. I want to, yeah. For me, I love this game and this sport so much. I'm just not stopping it, and I'm obsessed with mastering it. So I think about it a hell of a lot, and it pays the bills. So I'm afforded every hour of the day to do it. So it only makes sense for me then to think that my goals are pretty lofty.
Mate, you should have lofty goals, dude, because
that's a thing.
like I say, you are ambitious. You do have a lot in common with Justin Timberlake. I mean, you both made a shit ton of money from trolls. And as far as I'm concerned, more power to you, Ryan.
Yeah.
You're chasing after it. Now, Matt Tickle My Limits Larratt has just noticed that the White Oak is looking massive. And he's put, also, Paul is looking massive. So I set that up quite badly, really, in some ways. And he's put, give us a flex, guys. Now, here we go. Look at that in that lighting. And look at Bowen here giving competition. And that's in shit lighting.
Pronator looks good, yeah.
Look at that. Look at Ray up in the corner there, bonged off his tits. Didn't flex. Give us a forest pose, Ray. Come on, son. There it is. That's a couple of minutes up. That did the job for you, son. Yeah. To be fair, you may see these two guys going at it. Ryan calling out Paul the other day. That could get a little bit tasty.
Wait, when did that happen?
Oh, the day online, mate. He'd give it
the word call out, Neil. Come on, you're gonna get me in trouble.
I didn't see it.
I wouldn't call out Paul.
Full on called him out.
No,
what happened? I missed it.
No, that's the Paul Italia shared a post of me, a picture of me, and said, "Who should Ryan face when he next gets to the USA?" And I said, and that's where I said, I'd love to come for a month, and I'd love to pull three people over the course of a month. And your name was one of the ones that I said.
Oh, okay.
Mosier, RVJ, and you.
I'm honored. I'm honored to be in that class of humans.
Yeah.
That's why
I think it's
the nicest guy in the game. You know?
I'm gonna have to get on the pancake diet though. I can't. We're gonna have to start eating.
Listen, we will have the fix off at some point. It's going down. The fix off will happen. It was going to be Ray and Ryan, but then Ryan got bigger, and Ray agreed a match with Frode Hogeland. So yeah,
Alan Guerra.
And well, no, you've got Frode first.
Yeah, well,
and then you've got Alan. That's a much more important match. I mean, I love Frode, but the match with Guerra, that's for the love of cats, son. He doesn't even like cats. He's different to cats.
Very different. He doesn't.
I loved how against the cats he was. He was proper. No time.
Right. What do you think of cats? I'm not bothered about cats.
I think he's used the word hate. You know, he said, "I hate cats." I hate cats.
After this match, he will be known as Alan Peace.
Now, Joe Mama, thanks for your super chat again, mate. He's put Neil, having super chatted as much as anyone on this channel, hook me up. Paul, say hi, Christine, so I can get lucky. Hey, Paul, mate.
Hi, Christine.
Hey.
Don't know what that means.
You know what, dude? I think you've just got Joe Mama blown.
I hope so. That'd be great.
That's the level of the fix, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we go to. Adam Vandal with a super chat. Neil, what did we decide to do with the Arm Wars arm wrestling table after the event? We are going to be auctioning the table off. So the Arm Wars reality check table, the plan is that we're going to auction the table off after the show. So yeah, and bearing in mind we got some peeps coming to the show there. We got Arnold, we got Sly Stallone, we got Usain Bolt, Nurmagomedov, we got Rolly motherfucking Royce. Yes, there you go. So Lloyd Christmas.
And what we don't have is Ryan Bowen.
Well, hey,
Hey,
let's see.
thoughts and prayers.
Let's see. Let's see.
It's a
Because
long
I'm
shot.
still, let's
Hey,
be
just
We'll see.
leave Australia, and that's it. Just
That's the
It's
problem.
early yet. It's only July.
Yeah.
It's only July. In the famous,
Yeah.
semi-drunk words of RVJ.
If there's one thing that this pandemic has taught us, it's that a lot can change in a few days.
Wise words.
Wise
Ryan,
words.
just move to the United States already, Ryan.
Why
Let's
you
go.
Yeah. If I didn't have children,
He will lose the Brisbane source.
I know, I'm joking. I know.
Mate, if the rates go back and Australia say, okay, you're good to come back in, you'll jump on a plane.
No, you know me, Neil. Without a doubt, I'm international. Within, I would leave on 48 hours notice if that was possible. So
Now, the good thing is that your opponent is here in the UK. He's
Hmm.
Romanian, but he's here in the UK. So I'm still hopeful. Things can happen. Let's see what goes down. You never know. Apart from, we know that a lot can go down. Only tonight, somebody maybe on Joe Mama. And yeah, it's early. See what goes down. Lloyd Christmas flying back in with a super chat. I'm not knocking his abilities or drive. I'm just saying I think people are getting a little too far ahead of themselves at who he can beat right now. This is back on Chance Shaw. Do you think he's overhyped, Paul?
Yep.
I mean, no. You do? Go ahead, Ryan.
But I think Chance has hand selected a perfect bunch of people that he's able to win. And I don't mean, he's done what he's done, and so he deserves the credibility to say he's beaten those people. That's undeniable. It's fact. But I think if someone had have been picking matches for him that were trying to trash his reputation and give him hard matches, he might have had 75% losses out of the last 10 matches that he pulled. So he's doing well at building his own ladder. That's something that I've done as well. So I see it and I respect it. Building your own ladder when you've got your own social media and your own momentum going is a privilege that you earn. And subsequently you get to hand pick who you want. That's why he doesn't want to pull Corey and Derek, because he knows in his heart of hearts, well, this is my opinion anyway, that chances are he loses it. And so he would take a bit of a beating on his reputation. That's why he doesn't want to pull me again, because there's big risk he loses it. I think his reputation at the moment is above his reality, only by a little bit, but I think his reputation is above his reality, in my opinion.
Parts of that I agree with.
Parts of
that I agree with.
Yeah.
But other parts of it, like when you look at who he's beaten, so maybe there are stylistic advantages to him. Like, all right, he's got a win on Ron Bath. He beat Jordan Sill. He won that 4-way. Like, he's done a lot of stuff. And I do think that there are bad stylistic matchups out there for sure. I think you may be right, Ryan, that he may have angled his way where you personally have gone after the bigger fish and gone after the tough, but I do think that in Chance's mind and in reality, he's also taking steps up the rung. I think he's just aiming at matches he thinks he can be in. And I think that there's a flip side to that though, too. One thing we have not seen Chance do is be in a war. There is no wars. It is boom.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom.
What I was saying the other day on Uncle John's show, where we get, that's when I say that the jury's out, that's why. It's not definitive that Chance is not as good as people think, maybe better than people think, but we don't know, because Chance has won quickly or lost quickly. He's had a couple of losses in there, and he's had number of wins in there, a lot of wins in there against some really serious people. Now, the styles make match thing is something that's important, but I'd love to see Chance in a screamer.
Yes.
I'd love to see what his capabilities are when he's hung up and it's not going perfectly for him and he doesn't have the right hand control. That'd be ace. That's what I want to see, mate. That is
right. And I know, Neil, that's the way you try to make matches. And I respect that, because it's like, all right, let's find some people that we don't know who's going to win. There might be a favorite, but there's a lot of things you're just scratching your head about. And I think we do need to see that in Chance. But the flip side to that is he is so very good in his lane. And like, I haven't got to pull with him for a year. So, and I mean, listen, I'm friends with the guy, you know, I like the guy. So am I jaded? Am I biased? Maybe a little bit, but I think I try to keep like an open mind as far as perspectives goes. But that style is like you say, Neil, is acid against certain, and even you, Ryan, how do you hook it? Like, if you're an inside puller, what do you do with that guy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the only way you could do that would be to ball up really high, put enough drive in there that it stops, and then go from there. And rather than a cupping style, it would be it'd have to be flat supination and then work your way in. Now,
if we see John Brzenk do that, my head's going to explode. But I think if there's somebody that can do it with the bottom two,
I think it's gonna be a while before we see Chance in a war. He's to me like I think my match with him was the closest we've had to him pulling in a war, because I mean, I wasn't able to finish him decisively in the matches that I won, but I did compromise his hand and wrist, and he put up a little bit of defense with his arm and waited, but there wasn't. I don't think he's the style of arm wrestler that recovers from situations. He either just bangs through the door or he doesn't. So I would struggle in my mind to find for him a match that is just exhaustion battle.
Right.
I don't hard to do.
Your match was a setup war, Ryan. Like, for those of us that are really watching everything that's going on, I really enjoyed that. It's almost like a UFC fight where a majority of it is grappling. And the average fan's like, oh, this is boring. I hate this. They're just wrestling, you know? But like watching you guys jockey in the setup, that's where I saw the war. I haven't seen, like you said, that war after the go, or that let me grind here for 30 seconds, 50 seconds, 60 seconds, you know?
Yeah. I think the only way we are going to see a war with Chance is if Chance has still got his hand and wrist intact, but there's a side pressure from his opponent that he can't get through.
Yeah, two guys that put him in there big time. And one guy that's a harder test. The other day I was talking about guys that I thought would be a very, very hard test over it. Let's say a 6-round match. You put Chance in with Marcio Barboza, specifically Marcio Barboza, over 6 rounds. And if Chance came through that with a solid win, I would be extremely impressed, because
oh my God,
what I say about Marcio is he is complete enough, he's diverse enough, he's quick enough, or slow enough, depending on what he wants to do, to test all of those angles. He's also experienced and brave enough to throw the kitchen sink at you. So if you come through that, that's why I always described him as the gatekeeper of excellence, because what can Marcio not do? I mean, you know, he's got it all dialed. So that's why I see him as a very, very difficult test for anyone, because he's going to find a weakness if there's one there. And the other guys that I'd really like to see Chance pull would be someone like Todzilla, because the hand and wrist count for nothing. And I also think Krasimir would be interesting.
Yeah,
because Krasimir flattens like no one.
There's no defense in Chance if Chance loses his hand and wrist. He's out of the match if he loses his hand and wrist. Chance needs to keep his hand and wrist, but then be against someone strong enough to pull flat-handed and stop him. So yeah, I agree with all those names that you mentioned there. I think Marcio would be a problem for Chance.
Yeah,
I think
Marcio's for most people, isn't he?
Oh my gosh.
I think Todd Hutchins and Chance would be a fascinating. That would probably be the best war that I could see in my head, because I think Chance would probably take Todd's wrist, but Todd wouldn't go down, and then we'd get the endurance battle. And I'd expect Todd to pull through, but it'd take a while.
Yeah. Neil, I love what you just said too. And you know what? It just made me kind of think about Marcio, like Marcio being like the gatekeeper to excellence. Marcio has achieved such an amazing level. and has so many strong components without all of those anatomical gifts that some taller, larger hand, like longer guys have. His ability to do everything that he can do, hook, top roll, post, low hand, everything with a short lever and a smaller hand is so incredible. But I think like you're saying, that to me, that match is really interesting because of his options and his willingness to gut things out. I also love the Todd Hutchings match too, because I think there can be a false sense of what you can do at practice with Todd, and his ability to just dig in there. I love those matches. I think those are great. And I think I think that the Todd Hutchings match is probably one that Chance has a possibility to win. That could go either way. I actually think Marcio's a worse match. But I think that to me is like an excellent test. I mean, yeah, Todd's like a middleweight who's come up, but that's kind of perfect. Like I would love to see that one. And that one would be one where I would be like, man, it really just depends on the version of Todd that shows up. If the version of Todd that showed up to the Matt Mask match against that style, then we could see the same thing. But the other factor is Chance is anatomically different than Matt. Having that lower lever with the similar style could also play into that.
Yes.
And Chance's side pressure, I think, is better than Matt's, potentially.
The stamina thing and the water, the stamina thing's key there, isn't it, as well? Yeah. Because Todd can go many times there. So, yeah, interesting. Let's knock over a couple of super chats, guys. V. Polish, thanks for your super chat, mate. He's put, I love what Chance is doing, and I was sure he would win versus John. But after seeing John handling Cody, I'm not sure anymore. I'm stoked. Well, I think a lot of people are going to feel like that, mate. I think, there were the people that believe in John regardless, and there's the people that thought, no, I'm on the Chance bandwagon right now. I think everybody was watching that to see where John was at, to see where he is and what he's got, So, it's coming. We don't have to wait long. We do not have to wait long. Just going to knock this one over from George. Thanks for your super chat, mate. Who would you guys pick if Vitaly Latin and Gennady Quickvinia had a match? I'm going to go the Latin.
Latin.
Me too.
The longer the match goes, the more it becomes possible for Gennady for me. But Latin early. Gennady's got diversity and probably
he has
more.
got so much work to be put on. So much work's going to be put on that hand and wrist so early. It's very, very hard to contain that man that many times. And speaking to and knowing Gennady as I do, hand and wrist will be worked really, really hard there. He's not got a massive hand and wrist, so it's very, very difficult to contain that much size, that long lever that Latin brings to it. Is going to take some pinning down 5-6 rounds, hard work. Daniel Uric in the chat, mate. Good evening to you also. Thank you for your super chat. Let's just knock a couple of these over before we lose them, guys. Jeremy Mayer. Neil, love the show. Respect all you guys tremendously. Ryan, looking really strong, brother. Very excited for your upcoming matches. Be pulling for you. Yeah, not long to go for a few of these big matches. But Ryan, how big are you trying to get for this match? Or where do you think you'll be for the match?
It's not I have no idea. It's just, like I said, I'm 104 kilos at the moment. So it's a month away. So maybe 106, 107 by the time that's on.
Jeremy, make an investment, buddy. Make an investment.
Yeah, him next. He's not having it. He's not having it at all.
I love that there's betting. Man. I love there's betting in the sport right now. I know this is a real growth opportunity for the sport. The fact that we can stake, it helps the matches. It helps fund the matches. It helps fund the athletes' travel, all that sort of stuff as well. I think it's like 4.5% or something goes to the athletes. So you're contributing to the sport when you're staking, and it's just exciting.
Yeah,
it's exciting. I'm not normally a gambling type, but all the stuff I am.
Me neither. You know what? And I've always said it, like it's one thing. Like I don't go to the casino. Like if I go to the casino, take the $100, I lose it right away, and then I go drink beer. But I don't bet on things either that I don't like. Vegas odds is a hell of a thing. Like when things are handicapped, but this isn't really handicapped.
This feels like an advantage, doesn't it? Like,
oh my gosh, I call Ryan up and be like, hey, Ryan, how are you feeling? How big are you? What's going on? Are you healthy? Yeah, I'm great. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and put my bet in. Like, go right to the source, guys. What are we talking about here?
Exactly.
Yeah, it does allow a great deal of opportunities. Guys, I'm going to pull around to the chat because this is quite interesting. Just going to knock over Yet Goodman Super Chat first. Cheer up, Ray. Tell us a joke. Fox, crack on. Don't worry, Ray's. That's Ray's MO. What Ray's all about, guys. But I wanted to just point to something in the chat from Sandris. He's put no chance for a chance against Krasi. He's put, to put him in perspective, Krasi's won multiple WAF titles, won overall at Zloty Tour. Chance has wins against some middle-aged dudes way past their prime. You decide.
Yeah.
Sanders,
I saw Sanders saying it's an insult to Krasi to put Chance in the same conversation as him. Look, the reality is Chance is pulling John, and he'll probably do well against John. Chance has just beaten names that qualify him, whether you like it or not. Chance is now qualified to earn, and he's earned the right to have a crack at that top tier. And Krasimir is no higher than the Marcios or the Todd Hutchins of the world. They've all done amazing things, but whether you like it or not, Chance has earned his opportunity. So you just have to deal with it, Sanders.
Yep. Till we see it.
Sanders is a big story.
And going with Super Chat.
Well, I can say that Sanders has cracks at me almost daily on Reddit. He cries about my lifts, so I can have a crack back.
So,
Ray knows.
I'll just start that.
I actually don't. I really. I don't.
Yeah. Anyway.
So Ryan Mann Super Chat. He's put thoughts on Langston. His slip and wrist is still an issue, but the strap seemed loose and maybe some elbow fouls didn't go his way. Paul, what do you think, mate?
There was a lot of controversy, but that's kind of the standard for that, right? That's kind of standard for Craig's matches usually. I thought Craig put on an arm wrestling clinic. Now, the angle that I looked at on Bob Brown's was a little bit different than Utah Arm Wrestling's angle. You got to see like the elbows from like a very like table level. But I think there were fouls all over the place. Like all over, every single slip was the craziest thing ever. I think if Dallas can actually slip efficiently and not get his wrist crushed or like go under and like and put wear on his arm, I think he performs way better when he's actually in the strap. The first match, Craig did one of those where he thought he pinned him and came up and then wound up losing his wrist. And I thought it was really smart for him to kind of lay that one down. And then he went from that reaching hook down pressure move to actually a defensive top roll or a reverse top roll. And he was really, really the second win that Craig got, I believe it was the second win. Dallas had him at the pin line.
Yes.
And he just low-handed his way out. Was super impressive.
Now, a lot of people moaned in the chat at the time, and there was a big elbow foul, but what I wanted to clarify, didn't the elbow foul get called?
He had to pin him 3 times in the one match.
Yeah, I was confused about whether they called the pin or not, or whether they gave it
3 starts in the one.
Yeah, that second round that Craig won. He did have to do it again because during the first attempt to pin, when he went that down pressure, I think his elbow came off the back of the pad. And then he pinned him again. That's it. I saw screenshots from another angle of I think round 3 where Dallas did pin Craig and it wasn't called. I mean, refs miss calls, and it was one of those ones where obviously the screenshot was at the best possible spot, and it was only. It was a pin. Let's face it, it was a pin, but it wasn't called for Dallas, and that would have been 2-1 Dallas had that have been called. I still think from what I saw that Craig had the right tools to win, even if he was down 2-1. It did appear that once he started using that outside pressure and keeping the hand flat, that he was able to eventually crack through the wrist of Dallas and then get the side pressure to finish. But I think that those guys are a knife edge. They faced again in the tournament later on, and Dallas won. in the tournament. So they're back and forth with each other at the end of the day. But,
Dallas is very like, listen, don't let me take anything away from Dallas. Like, he looks super impressive. Like, his ability to stop Craig's hits on the first match, like and then absorb and gain, I thought was super impressive.
Very
and he's only getting better.
How much
I think this version of Craig is really strong too.
I think he's about 200 pounds, right?
Who, Dallas?
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit bigger.
Is he what's weighing, mate? You know.
Bigger. He's like, I think I mean, somebody can correct me in the chat, but I think he's 210, 215.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
A
bigger.
lot bigger. Okay.
He's bigger.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, because that's similar to you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, John Mom has just come in with a super chat. Gents, if John cracks Chance, does that say more about John's greatness or North America's heavyweight scene?
Well,
You can take that a number of ways. I said earlier, to be honest, mate, I feel like it would be wrong to put too much pressure on Chance right now because he's not. I don't believe that Chance is going out there and banging the drum saying he's the greatest of all time or anything like that at all. I think he's just trying to knock over some big names that, like, some of the things where I said I agreed partially with what Ryan was saying is that, yeah, Chance is a smart lad and he's going to try and pick guys that he feels realistically could do well. I don't agree with some of those assessments. He struggled a lot more than he believes he would with a prepped Jerry Caderet. I think. I think if John beats anyone, it doesn't surprise people because if John.
Is it just me or is Neil dropping out?
yeah, Neil's dropping out.
Yeah, cutting.
Oh, okay. Am I having dodgy internet? Am I back, lads, or am I screwed?
You're free.
Like you're on raised mushrooms.
I think I've froze.
Well, what do you think, Ray? What do you think about that comment? Because I seen you react about the John. If John beats Chance, what does it say about? Does it say about John's legacy? Or
I would say both. You know, it says like it says a lot about John, and also it says a lot about heavyweight scene. If John can come back, not being super heavyweight and still crack guys.
Right.
Yeah, you are the host now. I'm gonna drop everyone.
You're the host now, right?
Technical
So
director.
maybe I will let Neil pick up in. We'll see. Let's guys knock off some super chats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little bit dodgy. Hey,
no.
just learned something. So how the frig did that live not end then when I got booted off?
Because Ray's the technical director. He's the technical director.
Yeah. Let's see if I can drop you.
He wasn't gonna let you back in, Neil.
Did it? Where did I drop out, guys? Was I just talking general bollocks or?
I don't even know.
It was about 15 minutes
We got
ago.
a little bit of what you were saying about John B. Chance and what it says for the North American scene. I think we got the vibe, but we didn't finish your thoughts.
Well, I think if John can get anywhere near, basically what I was getting to, if John can get anywhere near the level that we know he's been capable of in the past, then whoever he beats, it's not a, you can't see that as a down on them. John's hand and wrist makes it go dark, so yeah, I think Chance is a puppy. He's got a lot of growing room and we'll see where he gets to. Jury's out for me right now.
Yeah, Chance is not yet the representation of North American heavyweights. He's fighting for the opportunity to be considered one of those guys, but at the moment, no one from outside of North America should be holding up Chance as the gold standard of North American heavyweights. Not by a long stretch. He's still trying to establish that, and it'll take a year or two before. Even if he has nothing but success, it'll still take a couple of years before he's seen as the guy out in North America. If he is to become that guy, it's going to take a while.
So, guys, we're going to be on here for about 5 minutes, just to let everybody know. We won't be on here much longer. Going to let Ray get some sleep, get back to the pussy, and get some shrooms. But let's have a look. Stitch with another super chat. Does anyone have a pin on our local champ, the Highland Hook Monster, a.k.a. Big Jimmy Lane?
Oh, I remember Big Jimmy, yeah.
Okay.
That's why Ray is the technical director, because I have no idea who Big Jimmy Lane is. There's got to be a joke coming. Does anybody know who Big Jimmy Lane is?
No idea who Jimmy Lane is.
Don't know Jimmy Lane, Stitch. Don't know him, brother. You have to give us a little bit of info on him, mate. A little bit of info, because we don't have any at this point in time. So let's have a look. Did anything come up in the chat while I was away, guys, that I missed? Because all my super chats or anything that was on there have dropped off my goddamn screen.
I don't think we got any super chats.
I saw Sandris was having a bit of a shot back at you, Ryan, saying that he didn't feel like there should be any conversation around Chance potentially facing Krasimir.
That's like I said. That's just whinging for the sake of whinging. I think the reality is that if the Chances has earned his right to have a crack at that level, it's unlikely it'll happen because of where Krasy's pulling in the top 8. He's obviously contracted over there, and I know Chances said that he'd love to go and pull the Zloty, but Krasy's not going to be in the Zloty because he's pulling top 8, so they're unlikely to cross paths. But if we took all contracts and all commitments to tournaments away and just said, would that be a worthy match? Then yeah, it is. That's just the reality of it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been on here for about an hour and a half, something like that, and it's pretty much time to wrap it up before I lose my signal again. Lloyd Christmas just coming in with a last-minute super chat. Thanks, guys, for everything. Kick ass, and we'll see you soon. Yeah, thank you, mate, and thank you for everybody in the chat tonight, guys, for tuning in and checking out the show. Please get over and support our resident co-hosts. If you have not been over to Voice of Arm Wrestling, get yourself over there, particularly you new guys in the chat. There's an enormous amount of insight, info about training. Great place to go.
Rooms.
Check out Rolly Royce. If you have not been over to Lethal Arms Network, get over there and check out the White Oak and buy some merch from this man, the best in the game, and you too can look sexy as fuck, just like the White Oak. And last but by no means least, remember, 15% off everything at pound for pound. And this guy's kitted out. You can get your handles. You can get your merch. You can get everything you need from Ryan Bowen's channel. Get yourself over there. 15% off with the code SUPERNATURAL, ladies and gents. If this is your first time, Supernatural Strength, please like, share, subscribe. Let everybody know about it. Until we see you next time right here, take it easy, peeps.